What's up? What's up, yo? This your boy Scott Lewis, apartment gamer and more, with Brooklyn Nets Stoop Edition. Here with another after game summary. Brooklyn Nets, Orlando Magic. The score was 105-98 Orlando. We'll just go over some stuff, and then I want to talk a little bit about Noah Clowney and the G League. To look at some of the G League stats of some of the players in the G League. Um, Michael Porter Jr. has 24 points, 10 for 23. Noah Clowney, 12 points, 2 for 8. Nick Claxton, 13, 6 for 12. Terrence Mann, 12, 5 for 10. Igor Demens, 8, 2 for 9. 1 for 5 from 3. Terrence Mann was 2 for 3. Nick Claxton 0 for 2. He actually took 2 shots in the 3-pointers. Noah Clowney 2 for 7. Michael Porter Jr. 3 for 12. 3 for 11. Excuse me. Let's take a look. Zaire Williams 15 points, 6 for 11. Dayron Sharp 2 for 4, 4 points. Terrence Mann, Therese Mann, 4 points, 2 for 7. Drake Powell, 6 points, 3 for 5. Today's game was interesting. I looked at Noah Clowney, and I've been paying attention to Clowney since Cam Thomas been out of the lineup, and he's been a little more of the focal point of the offense. He's actually putting the ball on the floor, which is, what he's been saying he's been working on. I think Clowney could be the future of the Nets if he continue playing the way he's been playing. So Nick Claxton played a somewhat decent game. I mean, he didn't 34 minutes. So he was a little less than Michael Porter Jr., who played 36 minutes. So, Zion Williams played 36 minutes. So it was interesting to see the game. The game was close. And in the second half, we kind of lost it a little bit. But that was okay because I thought defensively and offensively in the first half, they came out pretty, gun-ho. Everything was working for them. They had a nice, 16-point lead in the first quarter. But then they kind of relinquished it at halftime, and then it went down from there in the second half. The rookies actually played pretty decent. Igor played well. He didn't shoot well, but at least he was in the right spots. Drake Powell, he showed his defensive prowess and his ability to get to the rim. So, and Igor did well too. I thought they should have played more minutes. Igor only played 18 minutes, and Drake played 22. So I'm good with them playing anything over 20. I think they should get a little more, but 20 is okay. I like to welcome John. John, everything
Hey,
BK
Scott.
Nets. What's up, John?
Doing good, Scott. We had a great conversation on Breezy's
Yes.
podcast. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. Just talk a bit more about that. Listen, I thought Drake Powell, it was definitely not one of his best games by far. I mean, he had the best plus and minus on the night. He was giving you great defensive effort all night in the minutes he played. He
Yeah,
played
he did.
22 minutes. He was guarding Desmond Bain a lot. Desmond only dropped like 19 points in this game. Like, that shows you that he was getting a lot of work from Drake
Yeah,
Powell
he
in
was
this
working
film
hard. He
on
was
Powell
working
just
hard.
playing above level defense. So I keep saying Powell is making a legit case to be the starting two. He had the best points off the bench a few games ago. Now he's the best plus and minus of the whole team. He just keeps making the case for himself, and you just see it, the athleticism. The 3 shots he had tonight, he was finishing through contact. This
Yeah.
guy, they initiate more offense with him in the system than him just being a distributor. Guy takes a three here or there. This guy could be one of our top scorers on the team potentially. It's just I think they're trying to ease him into that part of the level, but he's ready to advance to that level. It's just Jordan needs to call an audible soon. This Terrence Mann stuff is not working. I know he had 12 points. I know he hit a few threes in that fourth quarter, but Scott, he was a minus 20 on the night, the worst of the team. by
Yeah,
far. Like it's just not working. I get Jordy wants this yada yada win now stuff, but you're not making man's value better, and Drake Powell's value is only improving, and he's making that case. Like him and Yegor should be the backcourt. I agree that this wasn't Yegor's greatest performance, 8-3-2, but he had another clutch shot in the fourth. He was taking chances in this game. He
yeah.
started off the game with a mid-range attempt, and then he almost dunked on somebody. You're seeing a reserve Yegor kind of let loose a bit more with his offensive identity. I'm glad that he's building that confidence. I thought him and Drake definitely developed a bit more tonight. Drake Powell especially, and Clowney got in the interior a lot more. He was 6 from 6 from free throw. Like those three guys, I was particularly watching the development really close because they've been really good the last 2 weeks. So I thought all three of them had some important moments tonight. But just again, at the end of the game, instead of playing Yegor and Drake, you're playing the vets over them. I'm like, let these rookies get that valuable experience in crunch minutes where they have to make huge decisions to either win the game or lose the game. But you just put them on the bench, put in Terrence, MPJ, a Tyrese Martin. But what does that show with development? That shows that you're just stuck between wanting to win now and push your rookies forward. And I just feel like for Jordan, he's not fully embraced it yet, which is unfortunate, but he's doing it in baby steps to the point where this would have been an opportunity to play Danny Wolf, but you didn't want to. And then tonight, Scott, his excuse for benching Diego for Martin was the Magic are a physical team. Okay, so how does Tyrese Martin help with that? He's not physical.
Yeah,
He's a rag though. Like
yeah.
Jordan's excuses the last two games have been really bad. If you listen to his interviews,
do
they're
you
just
think?
really bad.
Do you think Jordy is with the program of actually rebuilding the team?
He has to embrace the rookies more. I feel like he's trying. I have to give him that with playing Powell and Yegor more minutes, but you're still playing Tyrese and Man 20, 30 minutes. And people tonight were titling some of their Spaces pages saying, get Tyrese the hell out of here. And I'm like, whoa. Like,
Yeah,
this is why I didn't want Martin to be a starter because of the backlash. We know the guy's a journeyman player, but damn, Jordy, you're making these vets' lives a lot harder than they have to be. Like,
I
you just
think.
got to push your rookies forward a bit
Well,
more.
why do you think that maybe he's trying to build Terrence Mann and them stock ups before
Yeah,
they
but it's
trade?
not going up though, Scott. I mean, we've seen
I mean,
Terrence
you
Mann
got to
in what
keep
11
playing.
games?
You got
Has
to
it
keep
gotten better
playing.
in 11 games? A
I
minus
mean,
20, -7,
what?
-10?
Well, they can't sit him on the bench.
Not sit him, but you could play him 15 and 20 minutes while still getting your rookies get a few more minutes than
Well, he
him.
played
That's not
28
going to kill
minutes.
Terrence
He played
Mann.
28 minutes. That's
Yeah,
less than
but
30.
yeah, but he still had the worst plus and minus on the team. And then at the end of the game, he was all like verbal and stuff, trying to do like a rah rah thing. I'm just like, bro, Terrence, chill, buddy. Like
Because if
nobody
you
on his team is
really,
getting gassed up for that.
right, if you really look at it, Therese Martin and Terrence Mann both he had 28 minutes. Therese Martin had 24 minutes.
Oh,
So what
insane.
I'm saying is that's not 30 minutes. Like if you really wanted to say Michael Porter Jr. played 36 minutes, Nick Claxton played 34, Noah Clowney played 27. I mean, when he took Noah Clowney out in the second half, the game actually changed.
Right.
When he took Noah Clowney and Igor out, the game changed. They practically lost the lead. So I'm just curious, is he trying to build Terrence Mann and the rest of the crew's stock up before any kind of trade?
I mean, we're only about now what 3 weeks away. Thanksgiving's about a week and a half. Like December 15 is when it really starts the business side of this. And the only guy whose value's really gone up is Claxton's. I mean, the free throws, the best of his career, which I got to give Claxton some props on. The assist numbers have gone better, but you still look at Claxton's overall game. It's nothing different that you haven't seen. I mean, tonight, Scott, he took 2 3-point attempts. Scott, neither one of them were close to the rim. I think they were like 10 feet away from the rim. Like there's nothing about Claxton's game that's gotten crazy better. And even Joey agreed with me on Breezy's show. Like, listen, we all see what Claxton's improving on, but it's not drastic to where you go, oh my God, Claxton's taking a 6-year leap after 6 years of not taking a leap. And
Right.
this goes to the point where if the Nets are really going to be a serious team after who you draft next year, a center next summer should be a priority. We all have questions about Danny Wolf and whether he's a center or a forward. Well, instead of having to worry about that fully put pressure on Wolf, you can get a big in the NBA to play the center for you. Like, we need an actual big that could be an interior paint threat as a defender, and Claxton just isn't that always. So, but I do feel like his trade value, Scott, is the best right now. MPJ's numbers are fine, but he takes a lot of shots, misses a lot of shots. He had 7 assists tonight, which is a career high for him. And we
Right.
talked about his playmaking being a huge weakness, but he's making $39 million. There's not a lot of teams that are going to trade for that money unless we're getting a bad contract back in return and a pick. So those deals are very few in between. And man, he's making $15 million. If a team is suffering injuries and really needs him, his value goes up slightly, but I don't think it's anything crazy. And then Haywood Highsmith, who could have been one of our best trade assets, he's only going to play for like 2 weeks before he
Right.
could potentially be dealt. So that really put a blow in that. And then Cam Thomas, the big question mark. What is his future? Is he going to stay now because he has almost zero trade value? Or is the front office actually going to fully break this relationship that looks unbreakable and beyond fractured by trading for what they can get, which is maybe a second round pick or somehow a top protected pick, which looks very few in between. So the vets' values aren't crazy great right now. That's why we are wanting to push the rookies forward because you probably have to trade some of these vets for meager assets that you can use to move forward with. But Scott, we already have a lot of assets. So this is almost like getting cherry on top assets and then get ready for a very busy summer where we have to get win now vets, where we have to maybe get a center in free agency if we're going to compete for a play in or playoff spot next summer. So I
Yeah.
feel like, yes, you're trying to get their values up, but their values are not drastically crazy. So you can still play your rookies and build your vets' values up. But Jordy right now, he's over relying on some of these vets. And now the people in 11 games are fed up with it because it's like, these values aren't getting any better. So why are you benching the rookies when you know these guys are going to be traded in 2 to 3 weeks? That's the
So
dilemma we
so
have to figure out.
well, there's two things I'm worried about. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you bring the rookies up from the G League and bring them in, first of all, you're not going to ever float the team with just a bunch of rookies.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have some vets out there. Second, you need to get their trade value up. And speaking of center, the Celtics floated something out there, and I'm getting this
Interesting.
from their website
Mm-hmm.
in Boston. They're saying that they were interested, or they could be interested in Nick Claxton, sending
Okay.
Anthony Simon in a 2027 first round pick to Brooklyn.
Mm.
What you think?
I'm totally open to it. Listen, at the end of the day, this is a deal that's been floated since this past summer,
Right.
and the Celtics don't have a center right now, and they want to be competitive when Tatum comes back next year. The scary thing is right now, Boston is going to be either a playing team or just out or near the play, and if they're in the bracket with us, they have their own pick. And the sad thing is, the NBA might do something totally disgusting and give them a top 3 or 4 pick, which only makes them stronger and us weaker. But still, at the end of the day, if we want to help the Celtics get a few more wins so they don't have that opportunity, yeah, Claxton definitely works with them as a lob threat. And for us, we get Anthony Simons, who's an expiring $27 million contract. We get an extra first round draft pick that could be a flippable asset or something we could use late in the draft if we need another body, but it's mostly a trade asset. But getting Simons is very interesting because if you do move off of Cam Thomas, we need a scorer on this team if we're going to make inroads. And Simons, he's done decent for Boston in what I've seen so far. Like, this guy is a spark plug on offense, and he's a little more experienced than a Cam Thomas is. And for the Nets, maybe they could see what he could do in the second half with the rookies. If he does okay, maybe the Nets bring him back on a cheaper deal, but to be a sixth man or something like that, be a backup scorer that can score first off the bench. So I'm intrigued by that deal because, for one, you get off of Claxton's contract, you get an extra pick, and you get extra cap space to operate with in what's going to be an important building summer with trying to win next year. So I like that deal a lot. And I'll even say this. I heard through the grapevine that the Hawks might be trying to offload Kristaps Porzingis expiring $30 million contract. And this is interesting, Scott. I mean, if the Hawks really want to be competitive in the East, would they be willing to flip KP and a pick for Nick Claxton? I don't know
Well,
if that's a deal, but it's something that could be a deal.
I'm telling you, I really personally think Nick Claxton's stock has went up. I
Hmm.
really believe that. I
It definitely
believe
has a,
that
a little
I
bit.
believe that
Yeah.
teams are willing to gamble on him. They don't see a big upside, but they see a young player that probably can fit on their team.
Right.
So
No,
I mean, they
I agree with
willing
you.
to if they willing to give up a number one, maybe a protected number one.
No, this is unprotected. I don't think there's anything wrong with us getting unprotected because Boston could either be very good in 2 years, or maybe they break up their what they got with Tatum and Brown, because we've heard rumors about that for a while, that those guys were on steady ground before they started winning. So anything's possible there. But at the same time, if we want Boston to get a few more wins than us, giving them Claxton assignments definitely helps a little bit, because they still have Jalen Brown, they still have Derek White. So in a way, it's not us just giving them more power; it's us trying to get them away from us a little bit in the win loss column. Maybe that does something or not. Regardless, the NBA kind of has their back. So that kind of makes us go, why are we making them stronger by giving them Claxton? But at the same time, we need a center of the future if we're going to be a legit team. And Claxton doesn't fit what we're trying to build right now, because he's better as a lob threat for star talent than he is for a team with young pieces. And if we get Simons, maybe we see what he can do. We could probably bring him back on a cheaper deal for him to be a bench piece where he could score. Like, literally, if you have Simons on your team, you're probably close to a playing team than you are what you are right now. So I would be open to it, or we just take the contract and let him go somewhere else. Like, that's actually great business for the Brooklyn Nets, because you maintain flexibility, you get your pick, and you get off of Claxton's contract. So I think that's a good deal for the Nets. I thought Pacers and Hornets would make sense for Claxton, but they're both semi pseudo tanking. So it probably doesn't make sense for them to get
Yeah,
Claxton
yeah,
when they could probably draft a big or a wing or something
yeah.
like
That's
that.
fair.
But the
That's fair.
Celtics, they're a team that's still trying to compete, be competitive and whatnot.
Yeah,
So they should be more interested in wanting to trade Claxton for Claxton, because they also want to get under that apron that they're in right now. I think they got under most of it, but Simons is making an extra 27 million right now that they might not need right now. So I definitely think that's a deal for both sides to think about. But obviously, some people are scared of, why are we trading with Boston again when we literally gave him Tatum and Brown for free.
right.
Listen, Claxton is a good big, but he's not a great big to where he's an interior threat for us right now. Like, we need to think about getting another pick to add to our collection. And right now, of the vets available on this team, Claxton's the one guy where I think you're getting a first round pick at least.
Yeah,
It's
at
just
least.
the
Yeah,
options are limited right now, because some
yeah,
teams who might fit him are semi tanking right now. So one team that looks like they're in the middle, competing ish, is Boston.
yeah.
So
That's
I'd
true.
be open to a deal like that potentially.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, yeah. Now, I personally think they should try to, I like Claxton, and I didn't really want to give up on him, but if that means another pick in 2027, or that you can use the deal, since people have been saying Claxton is this problem, I don't see him being a problem. Actually, with all these teams floating out there that they willing to trade for him, he can't be that big of a problem. He's been playing well. So it's not the issue of him playing. We know he's not a superstar. We're not asking him to be a superstar, but he's an average player, and he is 6'11". I mean, what else do you
It's
need?
it's it's also, you look at the Pistons and how great they're playing. I mean, you just saw us against Durant, man. Like, he bodied Claxton, like he had his way. And the Pistons, they're a team that could go after a Laurie Markin or Anthony Davis this upcoming deadline. They get that, man. This front court definitely has to do something different for next summer, because if we want to win, we have to go through the guys in the East. And the Pistons are a team that is super physical right now, and for us, we are lacking a lot of physicality. And Claxton, as much as he's gotten better, he's not a physical threat like we would hope
Yeah, I mean, he's not a. I don't think he's a center.
he would have been. Too, Clarkson's a horrible player, but we're
I mean,
stuck in a,
these.
like you said, he's not a center.
If you
He's a
look at
mix
these
of
numbers,
some type of big.
these are not bad numbers. These are not bad numbers.
but they're not center numbers. That's the thing.
No, I mean they not
Like
superstar
he's a
numbers.
lob threat. Like if you had an actual center, if you had an actual center in front of Claxton, you're playing positionless basketball. The 4 or 5 wouldn't matter because he's a lob threat guy. He could defend for you. Like if you had a center that can rebound well, that can body up against the other big, Claxton maybe could play on this team. But for the Nets right now, we've never been that team that likes to experiment with two bigs. We're trying it now with Clowney and Claxton, but it's
Yeah,
not working like
that's
it did a
fair.
few years ago.
That's
They're
fair.
getting out rebounded by Michael Porter Jr., who has 3 back surgeries. That's not
Yeah,
good if Clowney and
yeah.
Claxton can't work together. So it's like it's not even that Claxton is a complete problem. It's just that it's
Michael
6. It's
Porter
been 6
Jr.
years.
Michael Porter Jr.
It's been
don't
six
have
years.
a center on him though, so that's
Right, exactly. And that's what
uh,
makes it even worse. Is that the best guy's rebounding is not even a center. So
well.
we definitely have to
Michael
figure
Porter
out that
Jr. is the weak
situation.
side to Claxton. He
Yeah,
plays the
it's
weak
just
side.
we have to get a center next summer. That should be a priority. And if you're gonna bring Wolf up, everybody's saying you need a big next to Wolf because you know if he's a 4 or 5. Well, I don't know if Claxton and Wolf is a balanced combo because Danny Wolf is great at everything Claxton isn't, and
Yeah,
Claxton's good at everything Wolf isn't. Like you think
yeah,
that's yin and yang, but you want those two pieces to work together, not to cancel each other out.
yeah. That's
That's a
true.
potential worry. So that's a deal we should definitely look into. But everybody else on this team that are vet, I don't know if you're getting a lot. And the scary thing is Zaire Williams. There have been people who said this guy's a great bench piece for us. Like defensively, does a lot. The 3 point shot has gotten better. He was in a little slump recently, but this
Right.
guy's been one of our best bench players. And the sad thing is. He could be a name on the trade market for different teams, looking to get a wing that's on a cheap $6 million salary, who gives you great defense as a bench piece. And it's like, as much as Marks wants to hold on to certain pieces, he's always been that guy to reshuffle pieces when he thinks he could get something good in value. And it pains me to say this, but the best guys on our team available for trade are Claxton, Zaire, and Dayron. And that's crazy because we need Dayron and Zaire. If we're trying to build a bench, I'd want to keep Zaire and Dayron. You know that. But if
Right.
we're talking about value on a market, I would not be surprised if Marks is getting phone calls about Dayron's availability and Zaire's availability. But if those two go, oh Scott, we'll get blown out. We'll get blown out a lot, like even worse than we are. So you have to
Yeah.
wonder: is what teams willing to offer for two good bench guys making only $6 million, is that worth enough to move them? I don't think so, but if they're willing to give you a little bit more than what you're probably getting, you'd have to hear it at this point because we're trying to get as much flexibility, as much stuff as possible to go kind of not all in, but start building winning moves next summer. So it's really going to be come down to who is going to be a Brooklyn Net for 2 to 3 more years, and et cetera, or who's not going to be. And right now, 3 quarters of this roster probably isn't going to be here in the
Now
next 2 to 3 years.
speaking of center, um, let me bring up the G League.
Mm,
And these are G League stats for today. The Brooklyn Nets played the Celtics Maine Celtics versus the Long Island Nets. Um, Danny Wolf played 33 minutes, had 8 field
nice,
goals, 15. He scored 22 points. He did pretty good.
nice.
Now, I want to bring Danny up. I want to play him. I really do.
Sam.
No, Nolan, he played pretty well. He was 5 field goals. He made 13 points. The only thing about him, he's minus 10, but he had 6 turnovers,
Okay.
and that's a lot. I mean, I know he's getting more comfortable because he's scoring, but them turnovers got to stop, man.
Right,
He's got
right,
more turnovers than everybody in the game,
right. But
even the other
you
team.
see in Danny Wolf's numbers, he's ready. A lot of people have said, and the crazy thing is, when you know there are prospects that are going to be good on your team, you want to see them play. And for the G League, I get it's important for development, repetition, all that. But Wolf is a guy who looks ready to contribute to this team. He's a point center, something we've never had. He's like a Sabonis Sangoon mix, but without the experience those two guys have right now. But he can run offense on this team as a big, which gives you some type of dimension. Yes, the defensive weaknesses, the worry about rebounds, those are things that could be tweaked and evaluated and worked on, but not if he's not going to get the chance at the level right now. You see with Powell and Yegor, they've been part of the main core of this now for the last 2 weeks. Already they're accelerating a little bit more than what some people thought they could, which is great. And Wolf right now is saying, listen, I could average double doubles all you guys want me to, but I'm ready for my shot. And we thought we were going to get it against Toronto, but you can only find 2 minutes? Ridiculous. Like, this is my thing. He's not going to get main minutes until one of Claxton or, unfortunately, Dayron are traded this upcoming deadline. Like, one of them has to go to open up the playing time for Wolf. It's unfortunate, but this is why you should have probably traded Claxton a year earlier, because you wouldn't have to worry about that. You could have started Dayron. Wolf is your backup big. You can see what that does. Like, that would have been more balance for development. But because you still have Claxton here and you have to get his numbers better, Wolf has to take a side gig and be in the G League. Like, that's why I'm so upset with this front office sometimes. Like, you can make the easy decision, but you rather prolong the easy decision for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's got to change right now. I'm glad
Yeah.
it changed with Powell and Yegor, but Wolf, we want 3 out of 5 of these guys right now to at least pass and be rotation guys. That's the only way you could justify this bad draft. And I'm only saying bad draft because you didn't need 3 point guards. You had Yegor, Nolan. You should have stopped at Nolan. The Saraf one didn't make sense, and now both those guys are likely going to be fighting for the 6-man spot now that Yegor is your point guard now.
That's
So
fair.
one of them has to go. Like, what was the
Yeah.
point? You could have got a wing or a center. And you
So
could have
that's
got
basically
Korkbrenner, and you didn't.
wasting a pick.
Imagine he drafted Korkbrenner and Wolf as
Yeah,
opposed to Sarath and Wolf. Scott, imagine what people would be saying right now.
I
They'd be
know.
calling this organization a genius. You got
Yeah,
one of the best big man that's neither center or forward, a point center. You got one of the best shot blocking young centers. But no, we had to get Sarath, which still just
yeah, it didn't make sense. Ben
doesn't make sense to
actually,
me. Like, you didn't need to
Ben.
get the third point guard. You had
No, they did.
Yegor. And the fact they said Yegor wasn't a point guard was ludicrous.
Yeah, yeah. Ben Saraf had 14 points. He was 5 for 11. Um, he played 26 minutes. Nolan played 26 as well, and Danny Wolf had 33, the most
Mm,
minutes on the team. So I
nice.
mean, these numbers Danny is putting up is not bad though. 22
Not bad at
points.
all. Stay ready.
How many assists he had? Let me see.
And he had 8 rebounds for
Yeah,
the team.
yeah. He's been
Nice. We had 9. He had 9. It says 9. So 9 rebounds.
9.
Listen, not a double double, but still solid performance. Like, Wolf is ready. It's just this organization wants to wait until 1 o'clock so Dayron gets traded. And if it's Claxton, it kind of just opens up more room for Dayron, for Wolf especially, and it gives you an option to go after a big this summer, which should be a priority right now. We talked about maybe getting a more experienced point guard to be the backup if Saraf and Nolan need an extra year, which works. You could get a center. So Wolf doesn't have to force himself to have to be either a big or a forward. Like, it could just develop naturally if you have a center to play with him. Like, these are goals we should aim for this summer when we're trying to become more of a winning team. But it's just
Right.
organization goes about the bad way. They want to get too much of the same player. Well, getting too much of the same player doesn't make you a balanced team. And that's
Right.
why 2 of these guys are in G League right now, because they play the same position. That shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's a problem, though.
Listen, I didn't get the third draft, third guard. I didn't get it, but
Still don't get it. Like, it just
I
didn't make
should.
sense. Like, you could have got a wing at least or
We need a
somebody.
wing too. You can never have enough wings in the NBA. Trust me,
Right.
never
Right.
have enough. So yeah, Ben Saraf, he played well though in the G League so far. They everybody's been pushing for Danny Wolf to come in, and I am too. So please bring Danny Wolf up.
Hope,
Please bring him
hope,
up.
hopefully soon. But December's, we're gonna really find out if some of these vets are getting moved. And the Cam Thomas one is something I feel like has to get done as soon as possible, because I know some people think that because he doesn't have great trade value that they're just gonna keep him. Why would Cam want to be here? So at the end of the day, Cam doesn't fit the system that Jordy wants to run. The positionalist, you pass it, I pass it. We take 3 point shots, do some interior play. Like, listen, Cam offensively is great. We all know this. But Kenny Anderson on Pete from Nets fans, he gave an interesting analysis of Cam. He said scoring never been the problem. It's the rebounding, the height, the defense, the athleticism, like putting it all together. Unfortunately, Cam is just not at that level, or has had the time due to his own health issues to be that type of piece. And you said a great thing on Breeze Show, Scott. You have to build pieces around Cam if you ever were going to invest in him. And for 4 years, the organization has never given me an inclination, or you or other people, that they value Cam as a main building block. And the only way Cam would stay on this team is if they give him 6-man money and he wants to bet on himself with the 10 teams, including us, that have cap space next summer. I just think the relationship has been damaged so beyond repair that now Yegor and Power are actually getting actual run, actually being more offensively involved, and they weren't doing that with Cam Thomas, unfortunately, Scott. Like, you saw a lot of people just standing around and Cam doing his own thing, but that's not how you build a balanced formula going forward. I just feel like there's been too much damage done there. So that, unfortunately, is something that has to get resolved as soon as December 15 rolls around, because the more you keep Cam on this team, the less the value is going to be, and then you're just stuck where you'll just let him go for nothing, which that'd be
They're probably
horrible.
going to do
That would
that
be
anyway.
horrible.
They already made their decision with Cam.
Yeah, if
They
you
willing
get
to let him
nothing for
go.
him, that is
They ain't
just
getting
that's
nothing.
unforgivable. That is unforgivable if you just let him go for
They
nothing.
gonna get nothing. Well, they ain't getting no number one pick. You ain't playing them, and you put a bad stigma on them.
You
Everybody's
should.
putting this bad stigma on them.
The
So
Clippers should look at Cam right now. They need
they
something. Scott,
not.
they
They
just
not.
played they just played double overtime against the KD
I know. I
AD
saw it.
less
I
Mavs.
saw it.
James Harden at 36 has to have a 40-point triple double
Yeah,
just
I
to get
thought he
his
had
team
40
over the
points. Right?
line.
40
Like,
points.
yeah, listen, they need another scoring piece. They don't have great defense whatsoever. Their offense is essentially James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, whatever Kawhi wants to show up. They need another young scorer.
But
Bradley Beal.
why would they trade with us when nobody wants Cam?
Well, they need Cam. The Clippers
Everybody, but
can't
I'm
speak garbage right
saying we
now.
saying
Clippers,
that he has no value.
yeah, but Cam could play with those vets on team because they
I
needed
know he
scoring.
can play on this team, but I'm saying we saying he has no value. The Nets didn't put no money into Cam. He
Yeah,
has no
but
value.
the Clippers have only one pick available. It's a 2030 pick. If they want to protect it so it's a fair deal, they could offer that and Bradley Beal for Cam Thomas. We'll just let Bradley Beal go. Like, I'm open to a deal like that. If you could get it protected first for Cam at this point, it's the best you can do. And the Clippers need something besides James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. Like, we need to get something for Cam Thomas. Getting a second round pick would be disgusting. I agree with everybody on that. But
That's not gonna work.
getting it protected first for Cam at this point would be a great move for the Brooklyn Nets, because you got to get something to justify letting him go for almost nothing. Like that's the only way to go about this going forward right now, because you let him walk, you train for a second, nobody will ever forgive this organization for that, especially the Cam Thomas fans. Like, that's the one thing I'll give them. Like, you let somebody go that could be a six man on your team, but you never gave him the chance because you wanted to control his
Or
money, control
or
his
they
style,
can
and
just
all
give
that.
him or they can just give him the chance.
They're not going to. They had this summer to work out a deal. They saved it till like the very end, and Cam said, "I'm out." Deuces.
I mean, Cam didn't say that.
That's what happened in negotiations. They,
I
instead of
mean,
being a priority, he
he
was the
took the.
last thing on the list of priorities.
Now I'm just saying, if he decide not to if he took the qualifying offer, doesn't mean that the Nets can't make another offer.
Yeah, but why would they? They offered $15 million for 2 years. He thought he was worth way more. And this is the sad thing about Cam's situation.
So let him find out. Let him
I kept
find
saying
out whether the league want to pay him more. If not, then sign him again.
this injury was the worst time possible. I kept saying, everybody, this has to be
Yeah,
Cam's
that's
biggest
true.
month of
The
his
injury
career, and
is
he only played
the worst
one
thing right now.
game. Worst case scenario for Cam Thomas. Like, all teams have to go off of is the one game, and he
I
played
think he
what,
wants
8
out.
games? He
I,
played 7
I
games. He
think
only
he
had
wants
one
out.
game.
I
He only
think
had
he
one
wants
game
out.
where he had 9 assists. Like, we talk about playmaking to be
I
better.
think he wants
One game.
out. He wants out. He wants
That's
out.
what it looks. That's what it looks like when you take the qualifying offer. Only one
Yeah.
person has ever
Yeah, he
re-signed
wants
with a
out.
team that's taken that qualifying offer. So
He
you
wants
just kind of
out.
have to get what you can get at this point. But the organization should definitely be looking for somebody that actually does need Cam Thomas, because they have to agree with his
They get
agent and
nothing.
Cam on
They
the
gonna
deal.
he already fucked them. He fucked
Yeah.
he fucked the Nets already.
Oh, he
When he
did.
took the
With that
qualified offer,
yep.
he could say no to anything. He could say nah.
And that's why Sean Marks needs to get the heck out of Dodge. I mean, this guy could not even negotiate with Cam Thomas on a contract. This guy, Sean Marks, was preaching 2, 3 weeks before Cam signed. They said, you want to re-sign your homegrown guys, you can look back and go, we drafted that guy. Bro, you never liked Cam Thomas. For 4 years, you didn't like Cam Thomas. You only put up with Cam because Kevin Durant wanted him. Like, Sean Marks is such his draft resume is so overrated. This guy couldn't even get Cam Thomas to agree to a deal. He
I
needs to
know.
follow Cam out the door if you let Cam walk for essentially nothing. He should follow him right out the door, man. So, but that's a situation that will have to get addressed as soon as 7-15 because there is no wiggle room to really fix that at this point. That
Wow.
will have to be addressed like as soon as possible because you wait on that. I don't know if teams are going to feel desperate enough to want Cam at that point. Like there's going to be teams reaching out to the Nets about some of their available players because a lot of teams are getting snake bitten with injuries right now. Scott, it's ridiculous how many
Yeah,
players are
that's
dropping
why
them right now.
every year we go through this with injuries with teams, and we realize how the landscape changes. We always
Right.
say, and I know last year we seen some trades that we didn't even know was coming. They
Mm-hmm.
came out of nowhere. Luca trade, other trades. I mean, just trades in general that you could not have said you saw it coming. You could not have
Right.
said that.
Right.
So, I mean, it's possible. Anything is possible. The most likely thing, especially with Cam Thomas thing with the Nets, is that he's going to walk. That's what it looked like. I mean, you're
Well, if
not
he
going to
gets
offer
traded
him more
somewhere, he can
money.
walk too. If he gets traded, he was sent. Honestly, right now, if they trade him, he's essentially a rental for a team at this point. Like, if he's
Yeah.
traded to a team that doesn't have cap space, he will walk to a team that has cap space. So that's another thing. Some of these teams have to wage whether do I have to give up anything for a rental, essentially. And if that's the case, then the Nets really are screwed because you have to take what you can get at that point. So yeah, I agree with these guys. It's such a precarious situation, but we just kind of threw with the baggage already. Like, just end the relationship so both sides can move on because it's not getting better whatsoever. But as far as big trades that are going to happen, the Nets have $15 million in extra cap space. We are a perfect third team to facilitate multiple deals. AD could get traded again. Lauri Markkanen could get traded from Utah finally. Giannis, him and the Bucks are barely above water if Giannis isn't playing at an MVP level. I mean, they struggled to beat the Hornets tonight, who they lost to the other day. So the Giannis situation still very in the air. John Morant could go any day now. Like there's some big names that could be on the move this upcoming winter. And the Nets are a perfect third team facilitator, and we have pieces too that can move in a 3-team deal to get assets back. So I think Deshaun Mark's organization should be ready for a busy winter because you got to get the ball rolling on some of these expendable pieces so you can go guns blazing into next summer to get winning pieces to build a real roster because this isn't a real roster right now. It's unbalanced pieces trying to figure some stuff out. But you and I kind of know, Scott, who doesn't fit already. It's just this organization has to make the moves sooner rather than later. Is
Yo,
that
this
Cam
Cam
Boozer?
Boozer look like
This
a
guy is
beast.
ridiculous, man. Yo, he's
He's
the
a
cream,
beast.
bro.
He's a beast in the paint, boy, and he
He's
can
Cam
shoot.
the Bruiser Boozer.
Yo,
That is the
he is a
nickname,
he's
man.
a real beast, though, for
He
real.
is to have the NBA body already at 18. His father did a great job. If he was coaching him whatsoever, got his training people with his son. Like seriously, man, they did a great job with this young man. Like he's already at the ability with just physicality already. It's special. Like you'll never see guys like this at that NBA body weight. Everybody thought Dylan Harper was already at that athlete weight. Nah, Cam Boozer, man. This
But you
guy
gotta,
just took it
I mean, I
seriously.
look at him. Yes, he's developed. He's ready, but he
Hmm.
is playing. He is playing whack players, man. I mean,
I
they
know.
look
Get him in
like
the
kids
NBA
to him,
already. Let him
man.
do
They
this
look
in the
like
NBA.
kids.
I feel like he's wasting his numbers all right now.
Yo,
Like,
it looked like kids he playing with. Now either he's that big or they that small. But
he's
either
definitely that
way,
big,
he's just. I mean, I'm in the NBA. Everybody's that big.
right? But for us, Cam Boozer's skill set fits what we are
Yeah,
lacking
I ain't
so
gonna
to
lie
a
though,
T.
but he has the skill level already. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And this
And
is
if we
what
have
I'm saying about drafting.
right,
This is what I'm saying about drafting in general. You know what somebody's going to kind of be because you see it. You see glimpses of it already. Whether he's playing small players or not, you could tell his game.
no,
He's physical. He
mhm.
can shoot. He's quick enough. Look at this. Look at this, man.
He could steal. He could get steals. He
He's
could
not.
get
He don't have
blocks,
to jump that
rebounds.
high. He can shoot the three.
He
He's
could throw out
physical in the
assists.
paint.
Hmm.
He's defensively. He's hard to move. I mean, those are skill sets already.
I tell you
Already.
this: if Kawhi Leonard and Aaron Gordon were one player, I think it'd be Cam Boozer. Like
Yeah.
that's just how ridiculous he looks already at such a young age. And this is my thing: if we get the worst record in the NBA, last 3 years the pick has gone five, but it could change.
Right.
Well, just because you're in a placement, the great thing about that pick is it's 1 through 5, so you have a chance to roll the dice for that pick to go as low as five, or for the last 3 years, which it has. But for the Nets, best case scenario is you get the worst record, the pick moves down to 3 and you get Cam Boozer. That would be the best hope possible. The best way of justifying all this is if you stay to the tank, commit to it against teams like Washington Pacers, let them beat you, and your reward is Cam Boozer. Man, this was a great year as far as doing what you needed to do to get a franchise game changer like Cam Boozer. That's your hope. Like you
Yeah,
would
I
need it to
hope
roll
so.
like that for you.
I hope so. I mean, I hope it's still a gamble,
Hmm.
regardless. We know that it is a lottery. So I mean,
Right,
you can have the worst record. It doesn't mean you're going to
right.
get the top
If we get the worst record, Peterson is probably out of our budget because I see a lot of people want to get him first. So that means the Bassa, Boozer, that could potentially be in your wheelhouse if the pick goes away from five. If not, Nate Amon is most likely your guy, which I'm excited about. A lot of people are undervaluing Nate Amon right now. They're like, if you look at this guy's tool and skill set, he has a lot of great attributes that if you develop him a lot more, he could be a Laurie Marketing type star for you. So I
Yeah,
would be disappointed, but if you get the worst record, best bet is that pick falls no lower than 3 for you, which would be Cam
yeah,
Boozer, and that'd be a huge win for the Brooklyn Nets. You address your wing position, you get your star forward to the future, and some stars will want to play with a guy like
right.
Cam Boozer because you don't have to do much with him. Let him develop, not even develop this point, just let him play his game and be an integral part of your future as a franchise guy. And this guy looks ready to carry a team right now. Like he's already at that caliber level, which is amazing. It's just I hope we do get a chance to draft a top three guy. I really do. But top five is a huge goal for us right now. We need to be in the top five. But best bet is you hope that worst record pick drops to 3 for a guy like Boozer. Like that would be a huge win. I
He
mean,
would
the
Cam
points, the
Boozer can
rebounds, is
pretty
wild.
much well be the number one pick.
If it was just him in this draft, yes. But unfortunately, there are four or five guys that would all go one in the next 5 drafts. You have a chance to draft them all in the same draft, 1 through 5, which is why you want to be in the top five.
Oh man, this is going to be interesting, but we got to try to stay close to the bottom.
Yeah, but we're facing
I tell you
Washington
one
on
thing: we didn't
Sunday.
start this
That's the
way last
thing.
year. We did not start
No,
this
not at
way
all.
last year. So if our goal is to win, to get a high draft pick, we are doing the right thing right now.
That's why you just got to play your
So
young guys. I mean, it's crazy. Cam Johnson, Schroeder, they look like stars in this team. Everybody was giving them praise. Look at them now. They are bottom of the barrel right now
yeah,
in
but
what they're doing on different
I
teams.
mean, it's hard as a player. You get some players play better with other players. That's
Yeah,
just the
but
way
they,
it
they were
is.
doing so well because we lacked so much talent. But it's like you didn't have to be on a team to do that. They could have been on different teams doing that
Yeah.
crap. And now we're doing it great finally. But this game against Washington on Sunday, you really don't want to win if you're the Brooklyn Nets. Like if you
Well,
beat the Wizards, you
Schroeder
give them a
worked with
better
his
chance to get
team.
a top five pick.
Schroeder worked when he was here. He worked well, and I personally speaking, I'm not surprised he still ain't on our team. I don't get it because he wasn't expensive. He's a veteran guard. He can come off the bench. I mean, he ain't had to start.
If we were trying to win now, he could have been a great six
Right,
man. But that's
right,
just it. The
right.
timeline wasn't
Exactly,
there with him, and that's why
exactly,
these games
exactly.
against Pacers and Wizards, you probably want to do everything in your power to not win. But this is a weird thing with Jordy. He's going to put all of the vets in fourth quarter minutes as opposed to putting your young guys against the Wizards players, and you're probably not going to win. But you know what? You get a chance to draft a Boozer, Peterson, or DeBosta, which is a bigger win than just trying to get a win. So this game Sunday against the Wizards will tell me if Jordy truly is our coach or he isn't our coach because I'm not seeing full development trust. I'm seeing a guy that wants to win so badly, but this game on Sunday is going to tell me what type of real coach Jordy is. Like, if he's really serious about these short term wins, he's not going to be our coach in 3 to 4 years. But if he actually takes the right approach with development and we don't win that game, but we were very competitive, than Jordy is the coach. This game on Sunday, Scott, really is going to tell me what type of coach Jordy is because we need to be very serious
So what
about
you
getting a
want him
top
to
pick
do
this year.
with this next game? Oh, you talking
Trust your
about against Wizards, right?
Play
Yeah.
your rookies in that fourth quarter. Don't put the Terrence Martins out there. Let these rookies get the burn, see if they can do it by themselves. If they beat the
Well,
Wizards
we
on
only got
Sunday,
two
I
rookies
nothing
on
good
the
to say about it
bench.
at that point.
We only got two rookies.
Yeah, but they can play in that fourth quarter. There's
Yeah,
nothing
let them
stopping George from
play. No,
playing
no
them.
problem. No, let them play. But
But don't just throw
there's
all
only
five
two
vets
rookies
out
though,
there.
huh?
Because if you throw all five of your vets out there against the Wizards on Sunday, it's a close game. We're likely going to etch them out in a win because they'll probably rest their vets against us in that fourth quarter.
I
They're
hope
like,
not.
hey, you wanted so badly, take that win. I'll get a top five pick over you. Like, Jordy
This
has to really be smart on Sunday about his minutes. Like, seriously, he really has to.
well, if you look at the standings right now, yeah, the Wizards is yeah. Well,
They lost 10 straight. The Wizards, I think, lost 10 straight. Like,
yeah, that
oh,
I'm telling you that losing is a problem for an organization. You can't just keep losing.
right. But
I
they have
mean,
no shame. They know where they
even
stand, though.
OKC was losing and got picks, but it was only two seasons that they really was bad.
Right.
After that, they wasn't a bad team,
Right, but at least the Wizards know where they stand, and they're acquiring all this young talent to see
but
what
they not
sticks and what doesn't.
winning. They still
Yeah,
not
that's part
even
of it. That's part of
winning
it. But at
now.
least they
Like
know
right
where they
now, they
stand.
come and play us. They could lose to a
Potentially, they
team
could.
that with veterans that's garbage.
Right.
So
But at
that
least they
how's that
know.
helping them?
At least they
They,
know where they stand. We're still trying to figure out what our ultimate agenda is after next year's draft. Are we actually going to start winning, or are we going to throw a bag at a guy like Austin Reeves because we want to look
no, don't
flashy?
get Austin Reeves.
Oh,
No.
we shouldn't. That would be horrible. Paying a guy $40 million to drop 20
I was
points a
trying to
game. Come on.
find that article with Austin Reeves and I didn't see it.
We saw him against OKC the other day. OKC on a back-to-back demolished the Lakers with Reeves as a second option to Luca. Like, come on, like he's been good this year, but look at guys like Tyler Hero, Austin Reeves, great scorers, but are they great defenders? No. Do they impact basketball in multiple ways where you can rely on them in the playoffs? Not really. So it's like yes, they're doing great in regular season, but it's the playoffs that truly define what your value is. It's not the money account you got, it's your
Right.
skill set. And that's what
Right.
some NBA teams don't get anymore. It's like we got to throw our money at this team because we're desperate to return to the playoffs. We have other options of getting to the playoffs next summer without having to drop $40 million on somebody's head to get them there. Like
Yeah.
we just
I
have to be
mean,
strategic
I
next
think
summer.
that's just way too much money for Austin Reeves.
Oh, I'd rather get a backup point guard vet and get a center. That's good for us as a start. We're trying to get back to winning, but go after Reeves to be your temporary number one or two guy, making $40 million. No, that
That'd be
just makes no
crazy.
sense. That makes no sense.
No, it
Like
wouldn't
that's
make no sense.
clickbait. That
Let
is
me bring
clickbait
up
right there.
Austin Reeves, Lakers 15, 6'5", 197 pounds. He's been averaging, he's eighth in the league, 28.3 points. He's been shooting well, 47 point, 86 in the league, assists 6, rebounds 85th. Those are not bad numbers for him, really not. But I don't think they $40 million numbers. But I just think
Exactly.
just, he would make a good pickup on a team, but I wouldn't pay him $40 million.
When you think of Austin Reeves, you think more of Tyler Hero, Trey Young. You don't think of Shea Gillis Alexander, Jalen Brown, like the top guys. You don't think of somebody like that when
Well,
you look at Austin Reeves.
the ball can flow through him because he has a high assist. He has high assist numbers.
Right, but if you get him, you start him over Drake Powell and Jaeger.
You
Is he
know
your
who
point
numbers
guard or your
that
scoring guard?
you
Like, I don't see how that would work getting him though, because you're
you
basically benching
know
one of Powell or
you know
Jaeger.
he's more like Jaeger. That's what you
Yeah,
want Jaeger to be.
right,
Those
but we
assist
have
numbers
Jaeger
is like
already.
yeah, but
That's the thing.
he ain't did them numbers yet.
Right,
That's
but
what
we
I'm
don't have to
saying.
pay Jaeger for another 3 years. This is where
All right.
financially you have to
So
be more
I'm just
strategic with
hoping
your
that he
money.
can put these numbers up.
I do too, but I think every game is getting more confident. So this is the thing: if you go after a star to fit in your timeline before you pay your rookies for another 3, 4 years, it's not getting an Austin Reeves. It's getting a star that has way better of a skill set that
Yeah,
complements your rookies. Like you just
that's
said,
fair.
getting Reeves is repetitive to Yegor when you already have Yegor, and then if you move Reeves to the scoring guard role, that takes Drake Powell out of the equation, and
Well,
Powell
well,
is
you got
way
to
better
remember.
defensively than Austin
I
Reeves.
understand. I believe in using 10 players. I think
Hmm.
10 players. I know some people say no, but you need wings, and you need multiple wings.
All right.
So it wouldn't be hard to have Reeves and Yegor.
It wouldn't, but I don't think it'd be your best backup thing. I think the great thing
Well,
about trying Drake Powell with Yegor is they're both complementary in a sense, where Powell could do a lot of the defensive dirty work. Yegor could do a lot of the playmaking dirty work. He could find Powell for shots. Powell could find Yegor for shots. Like that works. With Reeves, he's more of a scorer. His playmaking is really good right now, but other than that, he's not a great defender. Doesn't do anything
plus
athletically for you a
16,
lot.
man. You
Like, yes,
putting
he's
up
doing great right now, but you put him on our team as the main guy in the East. Is
no,
he going to
not the main
replicate
guy.
these numbers?
He's not a main guy.
Yeah, but
He's
you paid
not
him
a
$40
main
million
guy.
dollars like he is, and that's the
Well, he's
problem.
not going to get $40 million.
Well, in
I don't
his
know
mind, he
who's
thinks
going to
these
give it to
numbers will
him.
get him that. The Lakers, they have no choice. LeBron's out
Oh,
of
the
here next
Lakers,
year.
yeah. Well, they have the cap space to do it.
Right.
That's
Like,
the
they,
only thing. Can he play? He playing with homeboy. He playing with my man, number 77 over there. What you?
if he don't like
It's
the money
perfectly
they're
fine.
offering him, he's going to want to trade or sign a trade or something like that. But I just think for Brooklyn, you don't need him. You have Yeager, you have Powell. Get a star that complements what you don't have right now if you can go after somebody. And that's
There's
more in our
only one
front court
person that they
position,
can really go for.
be
Really.
honest.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're not going for a guard. You drafted three of them, so I don't. What the hell was that? That to
Right. And
me
here's
already is telling me you don't know what the hell you're doing.
right, and here's the
Because
crazy thing. If you get Giannis, here's a hypothetical. Let's say we keep Jaeger Powell as the backcourt. You have Giannis, and let's say you keep Clowney and you bring up Wolf. You could theoretically play Giannis at 3. You could play Clowney at 4, and you could play Wolf at 5. But they're interchangeable bigs where you don't have to exactly put them in one spot or the other. But that would be your front court. Like having Powell's defense and Jaeger's playmaking alongside Giannis makes us a very much bigger team. Yes, you might need to add a scoring guard in there in between, but that's actually a very interesting thing lineup to look at potentially if you did get Giannis. It wouldn't just be Giannis by himself. He'd have a lot bigger players on this team that he can
yeah,
utilize. Like that is something to explore with Giannis. I know the Knicks
yeah,
had their shot to get him this summer, but the Knicks don't have the pieces to get
yeah,
Giannis without pretty much sacrificing their depth. So if Giannis wants to come to Brooklyn, I think these rookies are developing at a good rate right now where maybe he does take a chance on us. Maybe we do get some good bench depth with Giannis. Like that right now is probably the most gettable guy as far as a star goes for us. But you do have to pay a price for him, and are we willing to pay that price right now? That depends on who you draft next
yeah.
summer.
Austin Reeves
That will
don't show
dictate the
up in
price,
playoffs. That's for sure.
right? Playoffs, playoffs, playoffs.
Yellow's right, man. He is right. Reeves is worth 17 to 20. I totally agree with you, man. No more than
Right.
20.
Even
Um,
Tyler Hero, who's got the
Nowhere
40
close to
goal, as
40 million.
as Tyler Hero been a great guy in the playoffs, he's gotten injured a lot. Like we haven't seen what Hero could do in the playoffs yet. He's making $40 million. Is your number one option right now in Miami alongside Bam, and he's injured again. So like these guys that want the $40 million contract salaries, you guys aren't exactly stepping up as number one guys. So why
Right.
would we bite the bullet and pay you that money when we know you're not going to be great in the playoffs? Just like Jelly was saying, great offensive guy Reeves is, but as a third option. I don't
Right.
even have a
Right.
1 or 2 right now. So
Right.
why would I give him $40 million?
Yeah. I don't know where that 40 million came from. Maybe his agent put it out there to try to, to push his value up, but he's not getting nowhere near that.
If
And
we didn't draft Yegor, I might be receptive to getting Reeves, but we drafted
I'm
Yegor,
still
who is
thinking
really
that we
good,
can
looking
use
good for us
another
right now.
wing. That's all. I just think we can use a scoring wing. I
Yeah,
mean,
but I don't
Michael
know if
Porter
it's
Jr. ain't
Reeves.
going to be here. I think me and you established that Michael Porter Jr. already been talking about sitting on the beach
Retirement.
drinking Mai Tais. You know that.
Yep. Yep.
So we know he ain't going to be here that long. What I'm
Right.
saying is Reeves is old enough. Well, he's 27. He's more of a now guy. So but he still got 3 years in him. So he would fit the timeline. He would be the senior guy on the team, like, along with whether you can get Giannis. I'm just saying that's the only piece that I see that justify the 3 picks of guards that you picked this year when you could have just got a wing and a big center. Even if it was a center that was going to be in the later rounds, just to have size on your team, just to put you could have got Queen, and Jaeger might have still been there.
I think we could have traded up for Yeager. I wanted Yeager as my second selection, just not as my first. But now, we got him. I'm still happy with the fact we did get him. It's just we could have maybe traded for him. This organization doesn't know how to use their assets to their advantage unless they're blowing him away for a star, which has pretty much hurt us the last 2 attempts. So we definitely have to be smart in this upcoming draft with who you get. Maybe we could trade up for a second guy in next year's draft, somebody nobody's looking at. Like that's very possible too. But this summer, if you're going after a star guy, it has to be someone that fits. The only guys that look available right now are Reeves, John Morant, Giannis, but Giannis would be the real get, but what's the price you're going to pay? MPJ would have to go with salary. You probably have to give up one of Seraph or Trayor, and then likely it's 3 to 4 first-round picks. Like, are these your main picks you've given up? Or because they're going to want main picks, so the Nets would have to give up a good deal, but this is why you got to develop these rookies as much as possible. If they're going to go up to speed with Giannis, they got to be willing to go from day one. But it's like you still have a lot of these vets on the team that get way more minutes than them. It's like if you want to make a big move next summer, this is the preparation time right now. But it'll be interesting to see who we go for next summer. It's just it has to make sense too. Like, is the smart move getting a guy like Ja who has baggage, but the trade value is not as crazy as Giannis, or do you want to go for Giannis, get him to the big mark, and hope that that recruits the right amount of vets to give you a real shot to win in a weak East right now. So we have huge decisions to make next summer. It's just this organization has to make the right decisions, not just stand by, not just be okay with mediocrity. You have no reason to be a bottom team next year.
Yeah, I
Rockets have
mean,
your pick.
when you
You got to compete for something next year.
right, not to harp off the past draft, but what I'm
Hmm.
saying is when we got Nolan Trier and we already had this is crazy. When you think about it, we could have picked up Will Riley, Asa
Uh,
Newell. Those are, I
uh,
mean, come on, man.
Ryan Kalkbrenner, who was right
Come
there at
on, dude.
29. You
Come
could have
on,
picked up
man.
Rasheer Fleming, who was right
Rasheer
there.
Fleming. Come on,
Like,
man.
man, we had so many opportunities, but this
I'm talking
organization,
about this is
they wanted
crazy.
playmakers so bad. I'm fine with playmaking, but it didn't have to be 5 guys. Like the Wolf move, great. The Jaeger move, okay, I can understand it a lot more now. The Drake Powell move was great. Powell, man, I
Yeah,
I
no,
wanted to get him in
Jaeger
mock
and
drafts,
Powell
but
is not bad.
I'll
Even
tell
though
you this.
I would have still took Derek Queen. But
I
that's
I
just
tell
me.
you, I
That's
think
just
Drake Powell, man, could have been under top 20, man. Everybody had him at 25 to 30, but the way this guy plays, man, he's one of your best athletes in this draft. And we're seeing a lot of these prospects not in the right game shape, but Powell was a guy who looks like he's getting in game shape. Like, I'm very happy you drafted him, but the Nolan Trior move and the Ben Raff move don't feel like they both had to happen. Like, you could have got a wing, you could have got a center, but we still had Claxton under contract. Like, it's just the organization has a problem with having baggage in a team and not moving off of said baggage when you're supposed to. And that prevents you from making the moves for Ryan Corkbrenners, Rasheer Flemings, Asa Noels. And unfortunately, this organization wanted to do the happy dance because you drafted 5 playmakers, took 5 shots in the dark. But you can't do that next year's draft. There's no taking no shot in the dark. You got to know when draft lottery day comes and you find out which spot you're at, you got to
yeah,
know who you're getting at that
yeah,
point. There's no
yeah,
hesitation. If that's the case, we have to go after somebody big next summer, or we're screwed because other teams will get better much quicker in the East if the Brooklyn Nets want to keep being mediocre. Unfortunately,
yeah.
like we got to,
Unfortunately,
this organization needs to wake up. But honestly, if I was one of the people in the office, I would just say, Joe Desai, what is Sean Marks doing for us? This guy had 10 years. to build you a winning roster. He's had
He was here
stars,
this
role
long,
players.
10 years. Yeah.
It's insane, man. But
Damn,
for 10
man.
years, this guy's never developed a balanced roster. He hates drafting centers. He hates keeping players long term. This guy wants to shuffle the deck every freaking year, and this team looks worse off for it. Like, even the
Yeah.
guys we know we have to move off of, that's because we want to get better talent. But Sean Marks likes to repeat bad mistakes. Like, if his contract is up this summer, Joe Desai, you want to promote him, but let him go from that position as GM. Get somebody new that actually can assemble a team. That's what
Yeah.
we're lacking is an actual team. It's
Yeah,
not always
man.
been pieces, it's a team. Like he's got to get it right this next summer. This next summer is the biggest one in Brooklyn Nets history because you're trying to win again. But you got to make the right choices because those choices will define where we're going to be the next 5 years. And we
Right.
can't get it wrong this time.
That's, well. This is crazy. Well, either
Yep.
way. Well, thank you, John, for being here. I'm gonna get
No
ready to
problem,
cut
Scott.
this up and bounce
Good
out.
show.
I'm gonna come on tomorrow afternoon.
Hmm.
So I'll send you a text,
Okay.
a X thing, and let you know. Thanks everybody for being here. Like and subscribe. John, where they can see you at?
If you ever want to talk fun basketball, follow me on my Twitter at everythingbknsjohn, trying to get to 500 followers. If you see my content, I hope you follow. But at the end of the day, whether you like my content or you don't like my content, you still respond to my content. So
Yeah,
I'll leave it
right.
at that.
That's right. There you go. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Good evening. Bye.
Peace.
Peace.